Hey guys, welcome to Muscle Memory. My name's Malcolm. I have a very special guest. You see him on TikTok, you see him on Instagram, getting all the views, learning how to do different wrestling moves, and he just recently made his wrestling debut for Chaotic Wrestling. Jose Zamora, how are you, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great. It's nice to meet you, Malcolm. I'm excited to be here.
Hell yeah, dude. It's nice to meet you as well, man. Like seeing everything you've done on social media. I mean, from all the different moves and like seeing the views that it's gained so far. Like, what led you to starting this social media journey that's now led to you becoming an actual professional wrestler?
Yeah, so I guess obviously growing up, I was always a huge fan of professional wrestling. And even in the ninth grade, I remember talking to my mother, talking to her about me wanting to become a professional wrestler. But obviously, as I grew older, I just didn't really know how the industry worked. I didn't really know how to like find a school. I wasn't very knowledgeable in that area.
Yeah.
But I would say my second semester of junior year in university, I think it was during my winter break. So yeah, so that I would say January. I found a wrestling school in Puerto Rico. However, I found it literally like 3 days before I would like go off to college. So I
Yeah.
only took like one or two like pro wrestling classes. And then obviously I study and I'm based out of Massachusetts. So I found New England Pro Wrestling Academy and I enrolled, but I was still a little bit like hesitant just because growing up, right, you sort of hear the stigma that to become a professional wrestler, you may need to be a certain height, a certain weight. So I was trying to figure out a way where there would be a sort of logical reasoning and like a logical way to actually join the industry and make an impact.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw that there was sort of like a to me at least, it felt like it was evident that there was this potential for like marketability when it comes to professional wrestling and social media.
100%.
I decided to create this idea of this kid that's essentially documenting his journey to becoming a professional wrestler. Because I wanted to create a story that people could resonate with, that people could feel inspired by, but at the same time, I sort of wanted to make professional wrestling more accessible to people because every single day I get messages of people asking me, how do I join a professional wrestling school? Like, how do I go about? I've always wanted to be a wrestler. And I feel like with the videos, people can sort of get a better understanding, a better idea
Yeah.
on how to do that. So that's where it all started. I've been training for about a year at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, a year inconsistently just because with college and whatnot. Finally graduated though, and now we're here.
Yeah, I saw a post. You wore like your wrestling gear to your graduation. I was like, that's hilarious. Yo, what was
Yeah.
like the reaction walking around like campus? Like, obviously it's a big day. There's a lot of people like on campus at the moment. So what's like the reactions? Like, what's this kid doing in yellow boots and like no shirt? Like, what's happening?
I mean, it's literally what I said, man. Like you had D1 athletes, you had students with 4.0 GPA, you had like multi-million dollar families, but at the end of the day, they were all looking at the professional wrestler, and that's what I sort of wanted to bring to the table, show the professional wrestling world, and just show people that don't really watch professional wrestling that professional wrestlers can be very marketable,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was really fun to do that. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it.
Hell yeah. What did you go to school for? Well, like, what was your degree?
Yeah, so I went to Bentley University, and I studied business management.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, got that out of the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
stuck in a college dorm room right now at grad
Yeah.
school, trying to get like communications and media, basically just to talk to like guys like you on Zoom or in person. But it's the grind that we love, so it is what it is, man. How do you feel like you can take that degree and kind of like morph it over to your pro wrestling career? Like, what's a crossover?
That's a good question. I feel like college as a whole, not even the degree itself, but like college as a whole prepares you so much for life because obviously there's this like a little bit like polarizing idea that you may need college, you may not need it. But I just feel like college taught me a lot of like life skills and how to like interact with people, connect with people,
Yeah.
which is at the end of the day what professional wrestling is. It's all about connections. It's all about working your way up, building relationships, working with people. So yeah, so I would say that my degree as a whole, I feel like, it's taught me how to be a little bit smarter with my decisions. It's taught me how to, again, be more like logical, more, I would say I'm just more astute with everything that I do, and sort of very calculated with it.
Hell yeah, man. Who were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Rey Mysterio is my hero. Like Rey Mysterio is my hero. I feel like he is underratedly one of, if not the greatest wrestler of all time, in my opinion. Um, and as I grew older, I started to appreciate wrestlers like John Cena more. He's a great in-ring worker, obviously a huge star, but his wrestling as a whole is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then yeah, as I've sort of progressed into this wrestling world, I started to look into guys like Zack Sabre Jr., Naito, just a lot of like different wrestlers I try to sort of learn from. But Rey Mysterio is without a question my hero. I love that guy.
100%, man. No, I mean, that's a good goat to have. I mean, he is up there for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
100%, 100%. Is there a certain match of Rey Mysterio that's like your favorite?
I still remember as a kid Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. I feel like that was,
For the title?
yeah, for the title.
I was there for that. That match was crazy.
That was a
Yeah,
crazy night, and I still vividly remember that as a kid.
yeah.
Obviously, I could say Halloween Havoc. I feel like everyone says that, but there was just such a special place in my heart for that match where like Rey Mysterio finally won the WWE Championship. Obviously, we won't talk about what happened after, but it was that was definitely a very memorable match for me. I would say for
Okay.
sure.
No, it definitely was. I remember being so happy and then like happy and like really disappointed by the end of the night. I'm like, man,
And
gotta lose it so early. 2 hours, bro?
Yeah, I literally fell asleep. I didn't even watch the Cena match because I knew what was gonna happen. I just fell asleep. I was just crying and fell asleep.
Justified, justified.
Yeah.
What led to you like wanting to become a pro wrestler? Like I like to hear your story about eventually joining a school and whatnot, but what led to you actually like joining or the pursuit of wanting to be an actual wrestler?
I feel like there was definitely a potential for it again with the social media, but also I feel like when it comes to professional wrestling, I have a very important and prestigious heritage that I wanted to be a part of because at the end of the day, I'm from Puerto Rico. And some of the greatest professional wrestlers in the world are from Puerto Rico, Pedro Morales, Carlitos Colon, Sabio Vega. So I wanted to be a part of that legacy. I wanted to make a name for myself, but at the end of the day, I wanted to represent my island because professional wrestling has been entertaining our island for so many years. It is incredibly huge in Puerto Rico. So that was really the motivation for me. I wanted to sort of put Puerto Rico on the map when it comes to professional wrestling and continue that legacy.
That's a great reason, man. That's amazing. Like, is one like your goals right now in wrestling is maybe to make it out to like WWC?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, I would say that my goal right now is to actually get on shows because I made my official debut, but I haven't gotten the green light from New England Pro Wrestling Academy to actually take bookings, just because they're very strict with the wrestlers that they actually allow to represent them. They're very strict, very meticulous with that because they just have an incredible reputation to uphold. It's an incredible school. So right now, that is my goal. I would love to wrestle in Puerto Rico. I would love to essentially branch out. I've already been to England.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just again, I think there's so much potential with this whole professional wrestling journey, and I'm just so excited to like actually be a part of it.
Oh yeah. What's been the reaction by your trainer and like maybe like other people in like your class seeing your social media videos go like viral all over?
So it's interesting because again, New England Pro Wrestling Academy, it's a very structured school. So the social media thing is cool, but at the end of the day, I gotta be a good professional wrestler. That is the most important thing. I gotta show up to class. I gotta work hard. So the reactions have been, positive. People enjoy the videos. People have seen the videos, but what matters is what I do in those practices and in those training sessions. And I can't say like enough good things about NEPWA because that school literally takes kids and turns them into professionals. It's like the structure of the classes is just so effective. I'm scolded like a million times for maybe not doing the proper footwork and a bunch of little different things, but I love it because that's what makes me a better professional wrestler, and that's what allows people from that school to essentially get to the next level. But the reactions have been good. People enjoy the videos for sure.
100%. Yeah, I mean, you need like a good trainer who's going to get on you and like make sure you actually succeed, you know? You need someone
Sure.
to be a little
Sure.
hard on you.
Yeah.
I had a brief period of time where I was actually training to wrestle for MCW down in Maryland. One of our trainers was Khan. He's currently on AEW for people that don't know. And he was very intense about everything. And like, it's good because like that's how people actually learn in those moments. When you first started training, like what was like something that you just couldn't seem to understand when you first started that maybe now is like easy for you?
Everything. Everything. No, but I'll give you an answer. For me, the whole idea about slowing down, right? When you get to those first training sessions and you see all the other advanced wrestlers doing everything at what you think is a quicker pace,
Yeah.
right? You sort of want to get this urge to actually do it at the same pace as them. You want to like start going at 100 miles per hour. But the whole idea, the whole key to professional wrestling is to slow down and sort of get a feel of the crowd, get a feel of your opponent, get a feel of the environment as a whole. And that's something that I'm still learning to this day. It's something that I still struggle with. But it's something that's on my mind and I'm always trying to improve. That and hip tosses. I hate hip tosses, hate it with a passion. I hate them. I hate them. My neck always whiplashes. It's so hard for me, but we improve.
But yeah, I completely understand. No, it sucks. Wrestling is not supposed to feel great. So, you know, if
Yeah,
it's hurting, maybe you're doing something right, but also maybe you might be doing something wrong. You never know. But
yeah.
at one point, you were training with Mr. Kennedy or Mr. Anderson. What was it like training with someone that has been on that level in WWE?
It was great. So Ken actually saw one of my videos and he liked and followed me, and that's where we sort of got connected. Ended up flying out to Minnesota to his wrestling school. Ended up having two like private sessions with him, and he is just such a great and like knowledgeable guy. It's obviously, he made it to the top of the industry, but he is just such a down to earth guy. I cannot say enough good things about him, about his wife Anastasia, just great people to be around. Mr. Kennedy taught me so much. Again, I was only there for like 3 days, but I learned so much from him. And I would say that I ended up making a friend because he is just a great human being, and I really appreciate him.
Hell yeah. It might be too early to ask this question considering you just made your debut recently, but how would you describe your character for someone that's just trying to get into like watching you on social media, or maybe they're coming out to a show to actually see you perform eventually?
I'm a kid that is humble. I'm a kid that will work hard. But I'm a kid that is absolutely obsessed with making it to the top, absolutely obsessed with becoming a superstar. Uh, because I want to create a legacy that people can respect and that people can resonate with and that people can feel inspired by. And I promise you that I will do anything, absolutely anything and everything in order to get to that level, in order to be able to accomplish my goals. But I want to do it in a way that's impactful, and I want to do it in a way that sort of opens up and allows people to integrate themselves into professional wrestling.
Amazing, man. Oh God, I almost forgot my next question. That's such a good answer. But when you initially started, not started training, but when you actually debuted, this is obviously very recent for you. What was the nerves that you had before walking out in front of the crowd?
Yeah, honestly, I was really nervous. Um, but it's sort of this weird phenomenon, right? When you walk through the curtain, I wouldn't say that the nerves go away, but again, if you truly just stick to the basics, if you stick to the fundamentals, if you actually slow down and just feel the environment, you end up realizing you end up just going into this like flow state and just being so comfortable. And that's what I think happened to me. I was just so comfortable in that ring. Obviously, a rumble is very different from an actual match.
Yeah.
But again, I was just in my element. I would say that during that chaotic countdown for sure.
Amazing. You have a long career ahead of you. Who are some opponents on the independent scene that eventually, once you know your green light to actually have these single matches or tag matches, that you would want to share the ring with?
Oh my God, there is so many. I can start off. There's a storyline definitely with Milo Mira. Milo Mira is he's recently entered the professional wrestling scene. He's the guy that actually helps me out in a lot of my videos. He's the guy with the tattoos and the long hair. But in chaotic wrestling, he just acts like an absolute douchebag. I don't know if I can say that.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, no, he just acts like an absolute douchebag, and I think somebody needs to humble him. And I think that person is going to be me, just because I know his strengths and weaknesses better than anybody. I would also like to face Nathan Angel, which again I went to England with, stayed with him. He's fastest rising professional wrestler in all of Europe. He's only 20 years old, so you know he definitely has a long career ahead of him. But the last time I went to England, it was really cold, so it's evident that it needs a little bit of Puerto Rican heat next time around. Jack Tomlinson is also a guy that I really want to face. I truly believe he has the potential to be one of the biggest stars that professional wrestling has ever seen. But you know, with all of his gifts, he chooses to idolize people. He idolizes Logan Paul, idolizes Matt Cardona, and I think he should realize that he is the leading man of professional wrestling. So I feel like for the sake of professional wrestling, for the sake of this industry, I got to remind him of such, because Jack Thomason, I think, is just great. He's a great talent. I can't say more good things about him. Um, and yeah, I think down the line, I would also, and you know, if he's still around, and again, this is down the line, but Zilla Fatu,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I like to face him because again, the bloodline is one of the most prestigious families in professional wrestling. But my Puerto Rican heritage, I would say, is also very prestigious in professional wrestling, and I want to represent that Puerto Rican heritage, but I want to do it against the very best. So. Yeah.
Okay. I'll make sure he sees this clip for sure. I'll send it personally. We'll make it
He's
happen
he's a great
100%.
talent, great, absolutely great, phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I definitely have to get a little bit of more experience until I go in the ring with him.
Amazing, man. Give me your prediction on when you think you'll be like green light to actually have like those singles matches and tag matches, etc.
Oof. I would hope that we're in July. I would hope that by the end of August, I can start taking bookings, but it's 100% based on me. I got to show up to practice. I got to work hard. I got to do everything in my power to actually, you know, get that green light, because the social media thing is cool, but at the end of the day, I got to be a good professional wrestler, and I got to be able to represent New England Pro Wrestling Academy in the most effective and efficient way possible. So hopefully by the end of August.
Man, this guy really is humble. I see it. Yeah. 100%. Dude, this has been amazing, man. Like I really appreciate you coming on today and talking about your social media journey and obviously like your newfound journey into the actual industry of professional wrestling. Where can people follow you if they're not already following you?
So people can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the real Jose Zamora, on YouTube as well at the real Jose Zamora. Like you mentioned before, I just posted a video reacting to my official professional wrestling debut. And yeah, I see a lot of potential with the social media thing, and I'm just excited to be able to grow in all of your eyes and hopefully make all of you proud.
Amazing, man. I feel like this is gonna be one of those interviews people come back to in like 5 or 6 years, like, yo, I remember him back in the day. He was
I hope, man. I hope.
so and so's company doing big things. I can see it. This is gonna be one of those times. It's gonna
I
happen.
hope. I really hope so, man. Thank you.
1,000%, man. My last question is more of a personal one. I have a wrestling match coming up in 2 months against a really big, tall mother trucker named A.
AJ.
Francis. Yeah.
AJ, yeah. Go for the leg, brother.
Go for the leg.
The
That's what I was
leg.
gonna ask. I was like, how should I beat him? Should I just kick him in the leg? Should I like cheat? Because I'm willing to cheat, but like I have no idea how to beat him.
Listen, I think you got to do everything in your power to sort of get a little bit of an advantage.
Okay.
He's an elite level athlete. He's made it to the very top of this industry. But listen, you know, you're pretty strong, dude.
I'm
Again,
trying, but he's kind of tall, I don't know.
kind of tall, but you know, you're pretty strong. You know, just catch him by surprise, go for the
Uh,
leg, and hope for the best, man. At that point, it's it's all in the hands of God.
yeah, I don't want to take a choke slam. I might just I'm just gonna kick him in the balls. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think
Listen, the
eating,
ref doesn't see
eating.
it. If the ref doesn't see it, everything's legal. You know.
100%. See, this is why people like you, man. See, you're a good guy, good
Listen,
guy.
that's it. You got to do
Oh
it.
yeah, man. But thank you so much for coming on today, man. I greatly appreciate it. And guys, if you're not already following them, make sure you go follow. We have everything in the description down below. But my name is Malcolm. This is Muscle Memory, and we're out.
We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. Hey.